Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great enthusiasm that I introduce to you a luminary in the dynamic realm of advertising, Mr. Manish Bhatt, a creative genius who has left an indelible mark on the industry landscape with over 26 years of experience. Mr. Bhatt's journey through the advertising landscape is nothing short of a tapestry of accomplishments and innovative milestones. It all began at Saatchi & Saatchi Advertising, where he honed his advertising skills, gaining invaluable insights in the intricacies of both traditional and digital, including creativity, copywriting, and account management. Transitioning through roles at Expertise Nexus, Gravity Entertainment, and ESP India, each step added layers to his knowledge and experience. In 2006, he took the bold step, the plunge of founding August Communications, assuming the role of Chief Creative Officer and steering the agency to unparalleled success. If you have a brand recall Vicano, Barista, Calobar, Oppo, IFCO Tokyo, Hyatt Regency, Intex, Spice, Vatica, SBI Card, Pizza Hut, Borders, Baba, Pacific, BSF, 94.3 My FM, Visit Britain, Gizmore, DS Group, Republic Bharat, you should know that the ad man in all of these places has been Mr. Manish Bhatt. At the core of Mr. Bhatt's professional prowess lies a set of hard and soft skills that make him a true maestro in the world of advertising. From advertising concepts and designs to graphic designing, websites, audiovisuals, and events, he is a living example of truly versatile yet down-to-earth leader. Much loved by youngsters like me, besides of course the clients who benefit from his ad campaigns and creative direction. Mr. Manish Bhatt's journey to becoming a creative luminary commenced with an MBA specializing in marketing. His formative years at his alma mater laid the groundwork for a passion that drove him to excel in the field of advertising and build a brand which he loves and lives for. In a world where advertising is both an art and a science, Mr. Bhatt emerges not only as a visionary leader who has shaped the narrative through important adverts for Indian and multinational companies. His journey is a testament to his patience, persistence, and unwavering passion for the craft. As we delve into the vibrant professional depths of Mr. Bhatt's career, we discover not just an entrepreneur but an emotional poet and a songwriter too, who continues to push the boundaries of imagination in the ever-evolving world of advertising. Without further delay, let's welcome Mr. Manish Bhatt from Gurugram today to the Learning from Leaders series. Welcome, sir. To begin with, can you share a specific example from your experience at August Communications where your leadership skills played a crucial role in overcoming a challenge or achieving a specific milestone?
I'll try to answer that as honestly as possible. I look at leadership more as a responsibility and a privilege to be able to create a platform where people can collaborate in meaningful, useful ways. And I think where my style mattered was in times of crisis recently when the pandemic hit the world, and I suddenly felt in charge of a family of around 35 people. And realized after the first month that it's gonna be a long haul, and had to create strategies to make people feel better in these times where everybody's going through a crisis. So some things that we did was, one, we clearly announced that there will be no sacking for the next as long as the pandemic lasts, so that they can first feel secure financially and every other way. Second was that we focused on their problems rather than the business problems at hand, because we realized that if people are functioning optimally, the business will take care of itself. So there were a lot of counseling that took place. There were a lot of personal calls to people asking them if they're going through anything financially, health-wise, in their family and all that. And of course, when what you realize is ultimately that if you operate in such a manner, like if you consider your team as real human people who are working alongside you, it also has impact on business as well. So we were one of the few agencies who not only survived that crisis but also kind of thrived in that, made some films during that time, that crisis itself, gained some new business as well, and kind of learned a lot of new skills to tide through that. And in a way, I think that thing is still going on because the way the organization is functioning has completely changed during that time.
Fair enough. So we'll move on to our next question then. Thank you for that answer. How do you foster a creative and collaborative environment amongst your team members? Like, what strategies do you use to encourage the creative thinking amongst your team members?
Our particular business, advertising, poses very unique problems when it comes to change, because our industry has the task of understanding whatever is going on with our culture, with our world, in the world of music, in the world of humor, in the world of media. So the challenge is always to keep abreast with the change, because the moment an advertising agency, a creative agency, stops changing with the changing times, with the changing face of media, with the changing behavior of people as collectives, or in other ways, in simpler terms, it's very easy to be outdated in an industry. So some specific things that I do to counter that is, obviously, first of all, it starts with fostering the right attitude for every team member, which is that we tell people, lead by example, that change is good, change should be studied, and it should not be feared. Like, for example, right now there's a huge challenge in front of our industry, which is AI, which is directly pitching itself against the creative professionals. There has been a long strike in Hollywood, which is kind of unprecedented. Everybody is scared, fearful what would happen. But the right way to look at it is that every time a new technology comes in, and if you learn to ride it, it can take you to greater heights, or it can, it's like breaking a new horse, You can fall off and break your bones, or you can learn to ride it and actually go faster than before. So specifically what I do is I create a culture of listening in my organization. There is we have an irreverent kind of culture, irrespective of their seniority or their age. They should be able to speak their mind clearly, and even if they are wrong, it should be okay. Just like with kids, when kids start speaking their mind, they can say a lot of things which might not be right in that particular, but you have to kind of roll with that, and in general have an environment where you listen to the young people more than they listen to you, so that you can learn from them. So that's one thing that I do. I have a team called U25, and those are the people I like to spend my time with and ask them what is happening with their lives, with their professions, with their dreams, how their goals are changing, how the way they look at relationships is changing. Everything is related to the kind of stories that you're telling. If you have to tell contemporary stories in your profession, then you should know what contemporary stories are. If they were about husband, wife and kids earlier, right now they might be about living partners, or they might be about same-sex partners, or you don't know what the world likes to listen to or know about or understand right now, which is why you try to listen to them. That's one. Two is also because creativity is fostered in a more relaxed environment. It comes from a place of security. When you are confident in your abilities, that's when you express yourself. So that very basic principle works on everybody. So there's an open environment, there's an environment filled with humor, laughter, lightness, so that people can make fun of each other, people can say things that are kind of out there, edgy. People can wear what they like, they can express themselves in different ways, and they can bring ideas to you that are, that can be different. So those are some of the things that we try to practice as much as we can. Some of these actually go against human nature as well, because we know that we are growing old and we think we are wiser than before. And you have to deconstruct that thought at every little step, that no, you haven't gone wiser, you've just been here longer. But the target is always a moving target, so you have to keep moving with the target. If you're fixated on one thing, you won't realize that everything has changed if you're focusing on that one thing too much.
I believe that an open mindset goes a long way.
Yes,
And
yes.
like you can learn a lot from younger people as well. That's what you precisely said.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the at least the endeavor.
So I've heard that you are a very emotional and artistic person. So we would love to hear like one of your poetic renditions from Suno, which is a jam poetry platform. And we would want to hear one which is your favorite.
So thank you for this opportunity to plug my poetry channel on it, and I'll tell you how it is related to our business as well. So when we started Suno Jam Poetry YouTube channel, the idea was that our people should do something that is not strictly a brief driven or work driven as well. Their mind should be in a thinking mode and expressive mode all the time. So we used to sit together and do little these kind of baitaks where people will either tell poetry or sing or create new music or just challenge each other in doing something on the spot and stuff like that. And from there we started this channel to basically understand how content is working. And the idea behind Suno was to mix music and poetry and words and language in innovative ways and stay contemporary as well. So it's not uppity poetry, it's not that classical poetry, it is just it is expression. So poetry word is there in the channel, so I cannot reject the word, but the idea is to express yourself in any way possible. Or my favorite from the channel is actually not mine. We have had some very good and all of those people I'd like to tell you have been my team members in the past and in a way are still my extended team. Even when they go out in the world, they are in touch with me. And Jyoti Mangain has written some very good poetry there. She's pretty good influencer right now, almost 1 million followers on Instagram, so she's doing very well. I probably may read to you something I wrote on Gulzar's birthday. So I've always been a fan of his style, whether it is in advertising. He's written some of the best ads. You might recall हर घर कुछ कहता है. You might recall एक बहुत सुंदर ad है, अगर आपने नहीं देखा हो तो देखिएगा. I think it's for Ambuja Cement. Ambuja Cement का core idea छत का idea है. That cement जो है strong छत बनाता है. तो गुलजार has done a monologue on छत. So जिसे एक टेक्निक कहते हैं कि गुलजार एंथ्रोपोमॉर्फाइजेशन बहुत अच्छा करता है. यानी छत को उसने एक लिविंग एंटिटी की तरह डिस्क्राइब किया है कि हाउ दे प्लेड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पार्ट इन आवर कल्चर जस्ट अराउंड 30-40 years ago. It was a community space where people used to meet, talk together, and how close they used to be earlier when there were no cars. छतें जो है एक दूसरे से इंसानों की तरह मुंह मिलाकर बातें करती थी. So I try to pay my respect to the man every birthday of his. So this is kind of in his style, so I won't call it very original. It is written in his style, and a lot of people actually misunderstood that it is something Gulzar has written. He has not. I just aped his style. So the idea behind this poem was, although one should not probably explain the creative idea, was that love is like a tune that you are humming and you don't know where you learned the tune, but you somehow caught it from somewhere, right? So it says, जुबां पे बैठ जाती हो यूँ अक्सर, जुबां पे बैठ जाती हो यूँ अक्सर, किसी मीठे से मिसरे की डली सी, जहन में घूमती एक ट्यून हो ज्यूँ, जहन में घूमती एक ट्यून हो ज्यूँ, किसी बिसरी सी क्लासिक सिम्फनी सी, तुम्हारी धुन लगी है मुझको जाना, किसी प्यारे से मुखड़े अंतरे सी, तुम्हें गुलजार ने लिखा है शायद, तरन्नुम में कही हो शायरी सी, कई घंटों तलक फिर गुनगुनाता हूँ तुम्हें.
That's really beautiful. So you remind me of my university days basically, when I learned about Howard Gardner and how he gave so many different multiple intelligences, and the musical and artistic intelligence is quite prominent in you, we can say. And people with such high musical or artistic intelligence would be motivated by you to pursue an illustrious career.
I also read about multiple intelligence, which is still an evolving theory, and I think the number of intelligences is also increasing. I used to be 9 by the last count. I don't know how many there are now.
There are 9.
So yeah, so I was thinking that you certainly have one or two intelligences which are stronger than other intelligences if you kind of apply this model to human behavior. And I was thinking that if you can just take your own core intelligence and try to learn from that, like from if suppose you have musical intelligence or verbal intelligence or linguistic intelligence, you can study it to see everything as a rhythm, you know. So even in writing, I'm a writer, so writing there is an unseen rhythm that you know, there is a cadence to it, how it should start, then how it should flow, how every sentence should be linked to the previous one. So what I was trying to say is that you could take your own intelligence and kind of apply it in a wider format and be more successful rather than trying to get into another field altogether. So I am sure this rhythm applies to science as well, this rhythm applies to architecture as well, this rhythm applies to writing as well. So yeah, so in a way I am more of a fan of integrated way of how you can move forward in life.
It's a beautiful interpretation that you've given, definitely. So my last question to you would be, any advice that you would want to give to budding professionals so that they become as successful and happy as you?
I'm not sure advice. I can tell you where I am coming from in life. That's all I can tell you, and I don't think one person's experience is completely applicable on another person. But I think first of all, people should probably try to understand what their idea of success is. And success is a story you tell yourself, right? And you can tell different stories to yourself. So my story about success is that you know, I have tried to become a more happy person in life, you know, the more contented person in life, you know. So everything that I do, whether it's my business or the work that I do professionally, or the way I operate in general in life, is guided by this principle that I want it to nourish me. I want it to make me a lighter, happier person. So my advice to other people is also to kind of introspect how they interpret success and not focus too much on the means. So the means to success could be anything. Money could be just a means to success, but not success itself. Ultimately, success would be what it is doing to you. You know, so if money is going to do good things to you, great. I mean, if you're going to channelize that money to maybe travel or, you know, see the world or have experiences that other people do not have access to, then fine. But otherwise, your goals can be different and your ideas of success can be different. But try to stay engaged with life and change and the world around you. Observe it and imbibe it, and then try to express it in your own way. How you are interpreting the world around you is probably the only power that you're carrying in your career as well as in your life. And it should make you a happy place. I used to read a lot of philosophers. Then suddenly a couple of years ago, you know, I started thinking that how many of these philosophers died happy. And I was surprised to see that not many of them did. Some of them, Nietzsche, turned mad. You know, some of them died young. So ultimately I came to the conclusion that your philosophy should serve you in life and not become your master. Your learning should serve you in life and not become your master. Your learning should make you a better person. Otherwise, you are learning the wrong things in life. So I think that is important.
That's so true. So thank you so much for enlightening us with your profound knowledge on leadership, entrepreneurship, and the creative sphere of advertising.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope I could give a point of view that could be of use to other people.
Thank you, sir. Let us summarize what we have learned today. Leadership is both a responsibility and a privilege. As a leader, focusing on teams' personal problems helps businesses not only survive but also thrive. Creativity is fostered in a safe environment. The challenge today is always to keep abreast of change. It is essential to foster a culture of listening, to learn from the team, their lives and their goals. His idea of success is that success should nourish him, it should make him happier. So let us keep learning from such leaders and the Learning from Leaders series. Doodles!